Welcome everybody to the week 13 video. I know, right? It is unfortunately cruising along too fast. We're now in the holiday season. Christmas tree wrecks. um, so big wins by Meredith. Congratulations. You might be my kryptonite. I haven't beaten you this year. 3 losses, 2 of them to you. But you earned a first round bye, so congratulations. And we will see you in Playoff Mania 8, where you can actually have Smack Talk, because you could be the main of. You're going to be one of the 2 main events. It's always good, right? So things we do know in the playoffs, right? Bob couldn't clinch. Bob could have won. Clinch playoff didn't. JB still in the playoffs, but didn't get a first round bye. So this week, JB can win, first round bye. Bob wins, playoff spot, right? So those are what's on the line for clinching. No one was eliminated. So technically, we have 2 clinched, 1 eliminated, 9 fighting for 4. So it is a free-for-all. And Sam B, really threw a wrench in the whole thing by winning, because now she made everything so tight with 5, 6, and 6 and 2, 5, 6, and 6 and 2, 5, and 7. So it's just a cluster up there. So things to know about this week: Dana, Sam B, and Katie can all be eliminated from the playoffs, but they have a possibility of still sneaking into the playoffs, right? Well, I couldn't possibly break it down and tell you how it is. So I got some help from a friend, Steve. Explain how it happens. Thanks, JB. I'm glad to be back to get us into the playoff push. You're right. It is a total and complete cluster in the middle. So we're only going to focus on 3 competitors that have to have a lot of work to get in. It's going to be Katie, Samby, and Dana. Let's start with Katie here. She's 4 and 8. Now, before we get into it, we have to talk about points, because it's important that we go through there. So let's just break it down. So Travis, plus 163.22. Adam, plus 104.34. Sam J, plus 34.18. Kyle, plus 31.84. Katie, then you're in the middle here, so you get the equal signs, and then everyone else below you. Sam B, negative 24.40. Eric, negative 35.28. Dana, way down there, 97.96 points. So, Katie, you basically have to say Travis and Adam have to advance on, right? Because when you're looking at where we're at right now, you basically have Meredith, JB, and Bob in the playoffs. So you only have 3 open slots. And when you have this right here, you basically have to give them the wins. So now that you know that you're rooting for Travis and Adam, now we can start looking at the rest of the matchups, okay? So we have week 13, week 14. I'm going to give you the most unbelievable stat. 9 out of these 12 matchups matter. You need all 9 to hit a certain way, right? So 3 matchups that don't matter is the Bob versus JB, the Meredith versus Kara, and the Bob versus Kara. Those can go any which way. Doesn't matter. Doesn't affect the overall. I picked them just because. But the rest of them, you have to have go this way. If they don't go this way, you're not making the playoffs. So let's jump across here. Let's start here, right? JB Bob. I just picked JB. Why not? Little homer pick. I believe in him, right? So then we go to Sam B and Eric. You need Sam B to pull off the win there. Then obviously Katie, you got to win both games, right? So now here's where we go. Again, remember I said Travis has 163 points. Travis has to win here. He's your savior, okay? Not only that, same with Adam. 100 points up. You got to root for Adam here, right? Again, doesn't matter in this one. I'm going to pick Meredith just because that's the way it is. Sorry, Kara, but it's just that. So this is how it has to go, right? Now we go into week 14, JB versus Kyle. You need Kyle to take that loss there, so you need to root for JB. Hey, look at that. You got to root for the guy. Coming to Eric versus Travis, again, you got to just let Travis win. You need to defeat Eric. Travis picks up the victory there. Here, where it gets different now, you got to have Dana beat Sam B, right? She's got to pull it off to knock her down below you. Again, doesn't matter. We're just going to go with the old-fashioned Bob winning. Sam J versus Meredith in the household matchup there. You're going to have Meredith win that battle. Then a Katie, again, you got to beat Adam. So, when it's all said and done, Travis sneaks in, and Adam for sure gets in. And then for you to get in, Katie, you got to score 35 more points than Sam J, and you somehow snuck it in. So a lot of chaos, right? So you need JB, Sam B, Katie, Travis, Adam, and let's just say Meredith winning in week 13. In week 14, you got to have JB, Travis, Dana, Bob, Meredith, and Katie. And then again, you need to score 35 more points. It's just as simple as that. Go out there and make it happen. All right, next, we have Dana, who comes in at 5-7. So points don't really become a matter here. It's just about the wins. So that is a positive thing for you. You just got to go. But like before, we have 9 matchups that matter in this. 9 out of 12. Again, it's the same ones that didn't matter before. JB versus Bob, Meredith versus Kara, Kara versus Bob, right? But everything else, you have to hit just right. I won't say points aren't what you have to worry about. You don't have to outscore. You can get the wins. The wins have to go in that direction. You can't have like, oh, this match goes this way, but I outscored this person by 40. We're good. That's not happening in your world. You're down by 97, right? Just from Katie, who was in the middle, so you're down like 200 from Travis. So it has to go this way every single way. So you got to hit that 9-game parlay. So go to Vegas, put it on there. So let's start. Week 13, doesn't matter. I always just pick the top person. JB gets the win. Right, here's where we start getting into it. You need Sam B to take this victory here, right? Dana, obviously you've got to win. Travis having so many points, you need Travis to move on. Coming in here, again, like I said, I'm going to stick to with what I've always said. Meredith moves on there. And then here, we're going to take Adam. Adam needs to win this matchup in particular. Now we come to week 14. You need JB to pull this one off here. Travis, again, still sitting here, so Travis is going to take the win here. Dana, like I said, you got to win. Got to beat Sam B. Got to get 2-0. It's the only way to moving on. Bob versus Kara, again, just taking the top person here. Going to the Havner household again. Looks like we need another victory by Meredith here. Take that victory, get that record. And then in this week, you need Katie to take out Adam just to make things, a little more relevant there. So, if this all happens, JB, Sam B, Dana, Travis, Meredith, Adam win week 13. Over here in week 14, you have JB, Travis, Dana, Bob, Meredith, and Katie wins. What you're looking like for the playoffs is obviously we got Meredith, JB, Bob, then you got Travis, Adam, and then Dana. You started off 4-0, is now lost one, is only won 1 out of 8. Needs to win the last 2 and can still sneak into the playoffs here. Good luck. All right, we are now at our final one. We're at Sam B, who's also 5-7. This path is a little more creative. So Sam, points will come into play here, and I'll explain that later, but in the beginning, it does not. Now, you do not have as many games that that affect you as Dana and Katie do, but something, the JB, Bob, Katie, Dana, Meredith, Kara, Bob, and Kara, all don't matter. Games you don't have to watch, games you don't have to hope for. Let's start, and then we'll explain how yours is a little more creative, because there comes a point in the time where 2 roads diverge in the woods, and we're going to travel one less traveled, right? But not really. So, okay, here we go. So, doesn't matter. Let's just give the victory to JB, because that's the way I feel like it. Sam B, obviously you've got to win 2 in a row here, so you're going to pick up that win here. Dana, Katie, it does not matter. So let's just give the victory to Katie there. Travis, Kyle, again, one of those situations. Travis is so far ahead. In every case, for Dana, Katie, and Sam B to make the playoffs, Travis has to come along with it. So Travis, congratulations. These three are going to wish you into it. Okay? So Travis takes the win here. Again, this one doesn't matter. We're going to go Meredith. All right. Here's where it gets interesting. Okay? So, this game right here. Sam J versus Adam is the most pivotal game, Sam, in your playoff future. Because this game doesn't necessarily matter who wins or loses, right? You can root for anyone you want. Sam J wins, it does a different path. Adam wins, it's a different path. So it doesn't matter who wins or loses this game. You don't have to hope for it. You just need it to go through these two in a minute here. So let's just go through the rest of them. Kyle versus Jay. Going into week 14, JB versus Kyle. We have to go with JB here. Eric versus Travis again. Travis going in. Sam B, got to get those wins there. We're gonna go that. Kara versus Bob. Let's just be fun, right? We've been picking on Kara the whole time. Let's go Kara here, just for the funs of it. All right. So here are some of the things that you need to know about. All right. So Sam J leads you by 57.9 points, and Adam leads you by 128.1 points. Okay. So what that pretty much means is that Adam, you're going to be really hard pressed to catch Adam in points. You might be able to catch Sam J, but let's just say for sake of argument, you can't. So both these being 6 and 6, if any of them go 7 and 7, they're going to get you. So if Sam J wins this matchup right here and Adam loses, then you've got to root for Katie here to beat Adam. So Adam goes 0-2, right? Now, vice versa. If Adam wins this game, Sam J, now you need Meredith to win that matchup. So effectively, you don't need these matchups to kind of go this way. This is best case scenario. But if one of these happens, you can have this kind of fluctuates to give you more opportunities. So this is the game you want to watch. If these two go with the way it needs to go with this, it sets up you pretty nicely for sneaking in there. All right, that is it. JB, I'll see you next week. Well, thank you, Steve. We'll see you next week in the final week of the playoffs. Hey, let's get into it. Here it is, the Week 12 review. You got jammed. DJ Shark doo doo doo. As much as we are in a playoff crunch time, it's always time to look at what you didn't set right. So, Jonathan, take it away.
Katie, you shouldn't pick cooks. Ari kind of won. What were you thinking? Katie, shouldn't pick Myers. Ari could have won his showy. Katie, you shouldn't have picked Thomas. Ari kind of won. We're talking 3 times.
Katie, welcome to the exclusive brotherhood of not being able to say your lineup right. And let's just get right into the week 13. DJ Shark doo 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 doo. You got jammed. So we can't forget this, right? We got to address this situation. We have the 200th matchup going on this week. Travis versus Kyle. This is the 200th matchup overall. It's so big. We can't ignore it anymore. So when we get to it, we got to love it. But, man, yeah, here we are this week. Overall, this is the first time 200th matchup coming at you. Oh, yeah. That's how long this league's been around. This is finally happening. So the winner of this should get something big. Maybe a bottle of wine. Yep, that's it. Bottle of wine for the winner of this matchup. You on the Fantasy Gridiron.